I am all alone. All my kids have all deserted me, says Baba Mohbad as he lends a lone voice. In an interview he did a few hours ago, where he had like a mini press conference talking to a renowned publication and also had another kind of informal interview. Kí ni Baba Mohbad rí tó fi sọ wípé àwọn wà all alone, àwọn wà deserted? Well, Baba Mohbad is the expressive type, as you can see. Is either he comes out to speak by himself. I think this is the first time he's actually talking to a recognized media platform. And it's a good one, but for a long time, he's been talking by himself or talking through his bloggers, especially the ones based in the UK. And recently, when that one, Tasi Baba anyhow, to expose Baba pé scammer ni Baba, pé Baba like níjẹkújẹ ni wọ́n pọ́n greedy, wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ fi orúkọ ọmọ wọn move forward ní life ni. Wọ́n blogger yẹn ti bẹ̀bẹ̀ pé kó má bínú sóhun, ẹnu òun jábọ́ ni lòun ṣe sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Now, I will just say this before we go on further in this podcast. If you're somebody who is an ardent supporter of Baba and you don't like him being critiqued, you might please log out. Or if you're somebody that, your own way of expressing is ekpe, I'm always saying it, please respectably log out. Because this is actually to face Baba, because I'm picking that line in this interview and the things he said around this, saying that he's alone and he's deserted. Of course, àwa kì í búyàn bí. Kò sẹ́ni tó lè bú bàbá ń bí, kò sẹ́ni tó lè bú ìyá Mohbad ń bí, kò sẹ́ni tó lè bú Wùnmí ń bí, kò sẹ́ni tó lè even bú àwọn bloggers bàbá ń bí. Àwa kì í búyàn ń bí. Nǹkan tó bá sọ àbí tó bá ṣe tá agree pẹ̀lú, á sọ pẹ̀lú ohun ọmọlúàbí, nítorí pé bó ṣe báwa ṣe fẹ́ nìyẹn. But platform tó bá ti ń ṣépè yẹn, tépè dẹ̀ ń gbénu yín tẹ fẹ́ ṣẹ́, ẹ lè lọ síbẹ̀ kí ẹ lọ ṣẹ́ ìpè. I'm really emphasizing on this because when you see some comments, a few comments, I must say that some people drop. Ẹ máa rẹ́ lómi tó jẹ́ pé grandmother ni, òun náà fi fọ́tò ọmọ ẹ̀ sórí page ẹ̀. Á wá síbi tẹ bá ti ń ṣe analysis, a máa ṣépè fún ọmọ lọ́mọ. And of course, irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn máa dá wọn lóhùn, but we don't want that on our platform. Ó ṣe ọdún tuntun. Ẹni tó bá ní nǹkan tó ń bẹ́lẹ̀ dá ẹ̀rù tó dẹ̀ gbé nǹkan gidi dání, kò ní wọ́ ọmọ lọ́mọ, kó nawọ́ nǹkan míì sọmọ lọ́mọ, àbí bàbá oníbàbá kó máa ṣépè fún bàbá oníbàbá. A kì í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ni wọ́n ṣe ń kọ́yàn ní ìran Yorùbá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká dìyẹn mú. Baba Mohbad, the interview he granted is quite, explosive. He talked about all the things tó ṣe látijọ́ tí Mohbad dákẹ́ and everything. The previous podcast we did now was one where he said that anything bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sáwọn, that they should hold Baba Falana and Wunmi responsible because he can't sleep in his house again. And he's actually looking for money to get a new place. Go and watch the program if you've not, so you can get the context. Now, Baba said, when he was asked by the interviewer to say, this one is the Abegi interview. Like I said, he did 2 interviews that same day, yesterday, wearing this white sutana. So when the informal interviewer was asking him to say, Baba, what about blessing your first child? Where does she stand? Baba said, well, for the past 1 month, Blessing has not reached out to him. He hasn't heard anything from Blessing. That he has joined me and Darosha and Iya Mohbad on that side. That for him now is a standalone. He's deserted. And that's what it is. So, with this one now, Baba is, of course, expressing himself. Whether we agree or not, he has the right to express himself. But one thing about this thing is, if you have a father and your family is not divided, that the home is held together by the woman. It is by both parties, though sometimes it might swing further to the side of the woman and in some cases to the side of the man. But where there is a common union of, we are going to be together, we are going to raise this family together, we are going to raise these children together, and we are going to live in harmony. But ìyẹn ò mean ni pé ká má mọ òótọ́ ká dẹ̀ má sọ òótọ́. Now, one thing I did not like, my personal opinion, was the very first day camera was put to Baba's face when Baba was saying, this is where I'm living, oh. See where I'm living. Mohbad has never sent a whole 500,000 into my account before. And he bought plot of land and put, can you imagine that Mohbad put 5-month-old baby's name on the document? And a few minutes later, they showed the mini truck. See, that was when I mentally logged out of the kind of mourning that Baba is doing. I'm entitled to my opinion, so some people, they can excuse that. But it wasn't the reported incidents. It was Baba talking into the camera. You know all this TikToker, whatever, video and you can remember. That is where my unsettlement with Baba's utterances started from. And I'm not surprised that the blogger that he always spoke through, that made a platform for a lot of exposing. Yorùbá máa sọ pé ò lè tàwọn aráalé ẹ lọ́pọ̀ kó wá rà wọ́n lọ́wọ́ gógó kò possible. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa kí àwọn bàbá wa tán dilé mú dìsín. Like somebody dropped a comment in one of the videos. A very wise person said, if you have an elderly wise person, I think it referred to a man or a woman in your family, tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń dúró lórí òótọ́, tí wọ́n make sure wípé ìmọ̀ ń ṣe ọ̀kan nínú family, ẹ̀yin bàbá yẹn o. Wọ́n ní ntọ́mọdé rí, the same thing times 1 million làgbàlagbà rí tójú fi kó sínú. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, it is an unusual maturity. Nǹkan tó máa ń jẹ́ káwọn bàbá wa àgbà yẹn ní agbára nìyẹn. Èyí tó bá ṣe òótọ́, ó lè má lọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ o, ó lè má lówó rẹpẹtẹ o, irú wọn tiẹ̀ ń lọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ púpọ̀ because àwọn òun patronize èèyàn. Òótọ́ tọ́ yẹn lọ́ máa tọ̀ títí ẹ̀ bá fún wọn lọ́fun, they will say it the way it is. And they will always have that unity of purpose. When Baba started doing interview, like I told you, that's where I had a bit of unsettlement with Baba. But I would never take the fact that Baba ló ṣiṣẹ́ Mohbad. I will not. Baba was the one that stayed for 10 or 15 years when Mama Mohbad was nowhere to be found. I will say it. I might not agree with Baba Mohbad from the beginning, but I will not take away the glory of the good job he's done. Yes, Baba might have married 3 women after Mama Mohbad that did not work. It's okay. You can fail as a husband or a wife, but don't fail as a parent. It's very important. Kọjú alẹ́ má bàa wọ́, kó má bàa dá nìkan ṣílé ayé ẹ̀. When things are happening and somebody's utterances is not showing wisdom and you're selling out the people that are your blood, it's always a problem. You finally lament of being alone and deserted. And one of the things that is important, fàgbàlagbà tó bá ti ń dàgbà, Baba, they can put Baba in a mansion in Aso Rock today. They can give him the first-class ticket to anywhere. But having companionship of the people that matter in old age is priceless. When Baba was talking in this same interview, he mentioned this matter. I knew Orowo would be there with no apologies. I cannot hate Baba, kò possible. Nǹkan tí Baba ṣe jẹ́ gbé oríyìn fún Baba. Baba òun ṣe deadbeat. Baba tọ́jú ọmọ pẹ̀lú tọ́rọ́ kọ́bọ̀ tó ń rí inú carpentry or whatever it is he was doing. Baba ò ṣe àwọn ọkùnrin míì tó yẹ pé ìjọ́ tó bá ti léyà wọn lọ làwọn náà máa taari ọmọ wọn síwájú pé tẹ̀lé ìyá ẹ̀ lọ kó jẹ́ kí n rí ilé ayé mi ṣe. Àbáwọn ọkùnrin míì tó yẹ pé máa gbágbádá kó sọ ni ọ̀dọ̀ obìnrin míì báyìí wọ́n ti gbágbádá kọ́ síbẹ̀ ìyẹn tún bímọ fún wọn tún gbágbádá. Baba did not do that, so I give him his kudos. Abiyamọ ni Baba. But it doesn't stop me from still saying that Baba talks too much. Baba gave empowerment to, should I say, his bloggers. And sometimes when you're listening to the way the blogger would come out, listen to podcast ìwọ gan àfi báyẹ̀ pé bóyá use pẹ̀lú pé àbí orí òkè ń tètè fún ẹ tí èèyàn bá ń pariwo gbogbogbò sórí podcast. Some people can't stand it because it's all full of cos. It's all full of things that cannot be substantiated in evidence. If you're doing anything public speaking, you need to be careful of how you're passing your message across, especially if you're not a witness or if it's not something you're quoting from. But she will probably say that Baba speaks through her, that she's Baba's blogger, and Baba never denied it. And that's why when she came out to drag Baba days ago, pé scammer ni Baba, pé ojú kòkòrò ló ń bá Baba jà, you know, those kind of things. Baba could not bounce back. Baba could not retaliate. Tẹ́ bá gbẹ́yàn lẹ́yìn láti fi gé àwọn èèyàn jẹ, eyín yẹn máa padà déyín mọ́ yín ní gbogbo nǹkan tá a bá ń ṣe. More than ever before, if you've not learned anything, we are praying that we'll get justice for Mohbad. But ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà tí ẹ ti dàgbà, especially lọ́kùnrin, let me focus on men this time around. I will never excuse Mama Mohbad's irresponsibility for leaving her children. I will not. No good woman will be comfortable to leave her children for 10 years. Tó máa lé ẹ tó sá fún oṣù kan, oṣù méjì, wà lọ wábì kan sásẹ̀gbẹ̀ kó tiẹ̀ lè fojú, kọ́mọ ẹ lè fojú rí ẹ báyìí kó ní kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ fún ní sweet. Wèrè gan ò ṣe gbà lọ́wọ́ ọmọ, ò ṣe gbà lọ́wọ́ wèrè o. Kọ́lọ̀ má yà wá wèrè. So on that one, no, I would not, it's not the way to go. Kó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé lóòótọ́ ni ìyá Mohbad ń ṣàgbèrè, nǹkan ti wọ́ lẹ́yìn ẹ̀yìn àti ọkọ yín nìyẹn, no problem. But èwo la àrìn má dárò, má wẹ̀yìn wọ ọmọ. Those gap years have affected the boy. It has affected him tó fi wọnú ayé lọ. Abiyamọ máa sọ pé abiyamọ àbọ̀já gbọ̀rọ̀. Téèyàn bá wà níbì kan, abiyamọ mi á sùn á jí, bóyá ọmọ ẹ̀ ò sí lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ bó wà ní school gan, ara ẹ̀ máa tají ni. Pé I need to visit my child. That's for a responsible mother. How much more? So for Baba, saying you're all alone, you're all deserted. Baba, whatever it is you're doing, mo mọ̀ pé láwọn àgbà tó tún jù yín lọ ní family. Ẹ láwọn àgbàlagbà ní family yín tó máa jù yín láfi tó bá yẹ pé yín náà kì í gbọ́rọ̀ sí wọn lẹ́nu àbẹ́ ẹ̀ka wọn kún ni. But ẹ bá kà wọ́n kún, ó yẹ kán pè yín, kán sọ fún yín pé bàbá, ṣé nǹkan tó yẹ ká focus là ń focus lé lórí? You had an opportunity. Mohbad was creating an opportunity, or he had created an opportunity for you to marry his mother again. For you to, he has rented a house. He has given you money to do the furnishing and all the furnitures. He gave his mother money to buy all the other things in the house. Ẹ̀yin náà ló ń sàbà lórí ìyá Mohbad, ìyàwó tẹ́ bí ọmọ fún yín, which is okay. Àgbàlagbà lẹ́yìn méjèèjì pé okay, a fẹ́ ra wa padà. Bọ̀bọ́ yẹn Mohbad ń fi aṣọ àṣírí bo gbogbo yín family yẹn ni bàbá. Pé kọ́jú alẹ́ yín lè sinmi. Kẹ́ má dá nìkan ṣe lé ayé. Kẹ́ yí síbí kóun náà kó ní òun máa ṣe fún yín ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ. Tẹ́ bá wà pẹ̀lú ìyá òun. Ọmọ tó ń daṣọ àṣírí bo òbí ni Mohbad. Ẹ̀yin ẹ̀ wá tán. Gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ lẹ́ wá ń kó fún bloggers. Kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ rárá. Kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ bàbá. Kì í ṣe bàbá tí ò dáa. Abiyamọ ni mo sì máa sọ sí. Abiyamọ ni. Because tó bá yẹ pé ẹ̀yin náà care fún Mohbad, tó bá yẹ kí bí ẹ ṣe fi sílẹ̀ tó lọ, lẹ́yìn náà ti síta, ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn á worse jù báyìí lọ. But ìgbà tó mọ yẹn dàgbà, ẹ̀yin náà sọ nígbà tí ìyàwó yín kan fi kinní fọ́ lórí, lọ́mọ bá bẹ́ síta pé ìgbà tí ilé bàbá ò ṣe é gbé mọ́. Abiyamọ ẹ má fọmọ yín sílẹ̀ o. Ọlọ́run á fi wá lọ́kàn balẹ̀. Mo mọ̀ pé àwọn ọkùnrin míì rorò gidi gan. Tẹ́ pé ó lágbára. Ẹ má jẹ́ àsọ́jù yẹn lọ. But Baba, I'm not praying for you to be alone because all this attention you're getting is just for a short while. It's a matter of time. Justice will be received for Mohbad. Yes. You might be put in a place, like I said earlier, kán lọ gbé yín sí White House gan. But ṣẹ́rí ẹ̀jẹ̀ yín lọ́jọ́ alẹ́ yín ó ṣe kókó gan ni. Ó ṣe kókó gan gidi ni. So ẹ jókòó kẹ́ ẹ rò ẹ sùn tí ọmọkùnrin ń sùn tágbàlagbà ń sùn bàbá. Kẹ́ ẹ má ṣe ẹni dàróṣà. Kò bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹni everybody around you is bad. Let me put it like that. And if you've had a relationship with someone as your father, as your mother, as your sister, or whatever, and in your utterances, you will never mention the good thing that person has ever done for you, you are toxic. Baba has never mentioned in his utterances that Wunmi has been with Mohbad for 10 years when there was nothing. Bàbá ẹ̀ sorry náà interviews yín. Nígbà tí Wùnmí sọ, I was waiting to be punching out her speech as well pé nígbà tóun ò róyún ní òun sábà yín bàbá ẹ ṣàdúrà fún òun ẹ mú òun lọ sórí òkè. Even if it's one thing, mention it. That is when you will know the person is just trying to be objective. But when you've been with somebody, you've had good times, and you now fall out, and there's nothing in your utterance that says one good thing that person has done, you're toxic. You become so bitter. And at that point, you can go any mile. Like I said, ẹni tó bá lè rí etí gbọ́ criticism, despite being Baba's lover, ló lè gbọ́ ilé, ṣùgbọ́n ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ ṣépè fún bàbá lórí platform yìí àbí anybody. Tẹ́ bá ṣépè fún 2024 yìí, ẹni tẹ́ bá ṣépè fún lórí platform yìí, torí kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ pè, ẹ gbé pè lórí fídíò yìí. A máa multiply fún yín by 1 million ni kó jẹ́ tiyín àti tìran yín. Mo máa ń sọ. Nǹkan téèyàn bá fẹ́ lórí platform ẹ̀ ló máa enforce. Lórí platform tó ti ń ṣépè yẹn, ẹ lọ gbé chair kẹ́ gba chairmanship position síbẹ̀ kẹ́ máa fún wọn lépè jẹ́ ń bẹ̀. So ohun tí ò bá ti báyàn lára mu, I'm enforcing it again. Ó ṣọdún tuntun. Ẹ má ṣépè for anybody. Justice everybody ń wá. Tépè bá wọ̀nyí ẹ sún síwájú. Kẹ́ lọ jókòó síbi tó ń ti ń pín èpè. Tẹ́ máa exchange èpè fún àwọn ọmọ yín àtàwọn ìran yín. Ibi yìí fún àwọn tí ó lè fi ojú inú tó dẹ̀ máa drop comment téèyàn máa mọ̀ pé rángù tẹ́ni tún ti rí tún yàtọ̀. Ká lè respect opinions àti perspectives ara wa. Kò ní dá kí bàbá tó wá ṣe wàhálà lórí ọmọ kó wá jẹ́ pé òun ló mọ̀ deserted. Ẹni tó bá rí lè nífẹ̀ẹ́ bàbá Mohbad á ronú nǹkan tí mò ń sọ yìí. Kò sẹ́ni tó dá láàrin gbogbo yín. Wùnmí ò dá, Àdúrà ò dá, Dàrúṣà ò dá, ìyá Mohbad ò dá, kò sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ Mohbad tó dá. Ẹ̀yin nìkan lẹ dá bàbá, kò possible. Nǹkan tó yìnbó ń pè ní victim card nìyẹn. Perfect bàbá. Èèyàn lè ṣe nǹkan dáadáa, but there's always imperfection in any human being. Blogger yín náà sọ ó lẹ stubborn pé ẹ̀ kì í gbọ́ràn. Ó lẹ greedy. Ó lẹ wà selfish. Ó lẹ máa ń da nǹkan rú. Bóyá nítorí pé ẹ gbọ́ sí lẹ́nu ló ṣe sọ. Bó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé òun náà dé point kan tó wò pé má nìyí kò ń ṣe téèyàn lè pọ̀n lé lẹ́yìn. Ó ti bẹ̀bẹ̀, but like I said, ọlọ́gbọ́n ló mọ̀, ọ̀mọ̀ràn ló máa yé. Tí wà téèyàn bá jọ ń ṣe tẹ fall out tó wá mú díẹ̀ tó ṣí sí títì. Tó ò bá kọ́gbọ́n bẹ̀ wà tún kọ́gbọ́n níwájú. Àgbà ọ̀dẹ̀ kọ́gbọ́n òun, àwọn ọmọ kékeré mi wà. Wọ́n ń sọ̀rọ̀ jù ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní ọgbọ́n orí. Ọmọdé tí ò gbọ́n ló máa dàgbà dọmọ àgbàlagbà tí ò gbọ́n. Àfi tó bá decide láti gbọ́n tó bá yára ẹ̀ lọ́pọlọ. So bàbá Mohbad, ẹ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ round of interviews and you've said so much in the interview, which is fine. And nobody can say, kíní kan, no, don't talk about it. Anybody that comes out, especially to talk about himself or herself, or their situation on the public domain, will see different perspectives, which is entirely beautiful and fine. Nǹkan tá mi kàn sọ ni pé ẹ má ṣépè for anybody lórí platform yìí. Not bàbá Mohbad, not ìyá Mohbad, not Wùnmí. Àwọn olóríire kan máa tún máa ṣépè fún ọmọ tí ò tí ì pọ̀ ọmọ oṣù mẹ́fà àbọ̀ ọmọ oṣù mẹ́fà sóṣù méje. Àwọn náà dẹ̀ lọ́mọ ńlé. Bóyá ẹlòmíì gan ò tiẹ̀ lọ́mọ ńlé ló ṣe máa ń da insecurity ẹ̀ máa ṣépè fún ọmọ ọlọ́mọ lórí social media. Ọlọ́run máa yẹ kọ́lọ́pàá kó ẹlòmíì. Comment tẹ́lòmíì máa drop sórí platform. Nǹkan tó ò sí ń bẹ̀ tó ń sọ tó ò fi allege tó ò fi reportedly sí. Torí èèyàn kan ló páyé èèyàn kan nígbà bá wá kó àtẹ̀bí ẹ̀. O ò ní rántí pé o drop comment mọ́ òun. Ẹni tó bá mọ bí 2020 tó bá lọ gbọ́ ọ̀run tó wo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lórí internet á fọpọlọ á máa fi ṣe nǹkan tó bá ń ṣe. Nígbà wá bí ẹ pé ó yá wá kọ evidence ọwọ́ ẹ lẹ̀ ṣe bó sọ wípé lágbájá ló ṣe ó mọ̀ ń pa ẹ̀ ní wá help wa pẹ̀lú investigation. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ káwọ́ sẹ́yìn rojọ́ ní ọdún tuntun. So bàbá Mohbad, ẹ ṣàtúnṣe. Ẹ ṣàtúnṣe bàbá. Ẹ ṣàtúnṣe. Kò ní dáa kẹ́ fi kẹ́ dá nìkan ṣe ilé ayé yín. Ó yẹ ká máa gbé yín kán máa gẹ̀yìn báyìí ni. Euphoria yìí ó máa tán. Ẹnìkan ló jẹ mínísítà níjẹta tó allege bó ṣe nǹkan báyìí. A rí fídíò bí tó ti wọ EFCC office lọ tó fi ń bọ̀. That means this life is not balanced. ohun tó bá ṣe kó mọ̀ wípé o ṣe dáadáa, o dẹ̀ listen sí ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣítí. Nǹkan tí mi máa sọ fún bàbá Mohbad nìyẹn. Kò sẹ́ni tó ń gbàdúrà kẹwàá lonely o. Abiyamọ ni yín o bàbá. Ẹ kì í ṣe deadbeat rárá. So ẹ deserve láti wà lonely, láti wà deserted. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ wo ìsọ̀rọ̀ sí yín, àgbékalẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ yín ní ọ̀pọ̀ ìgbà. Last one, tí mo wò, I was almost happy towards that point before you now said, owó lẹ̀ ń wá báyìí kẹ́ fi gbalé. Àwọn èèyàn wá fi ń ṣe ẹ̀yẹ ní comment section pé àwọn ti mọ̀ pé ọ̀rọ̀ owó yìí náà lẹ máa tún sọ. Bàbá, ẹ̀sùn mẹ́ta tọkùnrin ń sùn. Abiyamọ ní ẹ̀sùn abiyamọ. Kẹ́dẹ̀ bẹ́lẹ̀dà ọmọ yín tó ti lọ pé ṣé nǹkan tẹ́ ń ṣe yìí ṣe fi ń bu ọmọ yín láṣìírí. Nǹkan tó ọmọ yìí bò yín láṣìírí. Ó bò yín láṣìírí. Ire o.